Hello, welcome to Hey Mummy. I'm here with Julie Whitehead, who is a midwife and a lactation consultant, which must keep you very busy.
Yeah.
Tell me, how did you get into that?
Well, I've been a midwife for 22 years, and as a midwife, you would come across women with breastfeeding issues. And I was quite passionate about helping women with feeding. So I did extra training to become a lactation consultant. I've been a lactation consultant for 12 years now.
So we wanted to talk quite a bit about postnatal depression because it is such a big issue for so many women. I think it's 1 in around 8 that supposedly suffer. I think it's more. I think it's got to be higher.
Yeah.
So many women deal with it, don't they? I mean, do you have any warning signs that you've flagged to people?
Yes, I think if women have suffered antenatally, so or even before having a baby with any form of depression, you're more at increased risk of having pregnancy or postnatal depression. If they have pregnancy depression or feel their mood is low or anxiety, because people think of depression as one thing. It might just be unwanted thoughts, a little bit of anxiety, don't want to leave the house, then you need to speak to somebody for advice in pregnancy to get a support network set up. Postnatally, and we always say to mums, if you've had depression before, if you've lost your mother as a child, if you've had a baby in special care, if you've got a lot of stresses in your life, or sometimes it just comes and gets people there. It's like any disease.
Where should they go if they think they're feeling
If you're pregnant or a new mother, always tell your midwife or your health visitor or your GP. You know, they're your linchpin for getting some support for you. Your GP may prescribe medication, but it's quite nice if you can find some support in your area. There's not a lot of support in a lot of areas. We're very, very lucky in Portsmouth because we've got Respond Portsmouth, where we provide coffee afternoons, and we have a program, a 7-week program of events to help mothers with cognitive behaviour therapy, relaxation, and support.
And online groups, I mean, you should, try the Facebook groups, and even if it's just finding people to talk to, talk to somebody.
Get out of the house, go and talk to somebody, but talk to the right person, because there's no point talking to one person if they're not listening. Because I know lots of mums say to me, my mum doesn't understand, she says, pull myself together. It's got to be the right person who knows how to access some help for you.
Do you think part of the problem is that mums are too embarrassed to come forward?
Oh, that's very much the case, because no mother wants to say to another person, I'm not enjoying being with my baby. It's no reflection on your feelings to your baby. All the mothers that I see with postnatal depression adore their babies, but they might have anxieties around their baby and they've had a major life-changing occurrence. So women have got to feel there's no shame. It's like any other disease process. If you've suddenly got diabetes, you would say to people, I've got diabetes, I need some medication, I'm seeking help. It's the same thing, but that you've got to be strong to make that first step. Once you make that first step, it's the road to recovery, and you can get better. Most areas have got a service, some form of service. It might be with the local psychological therapy service. Hopefully your GPs will know about it. You can look online at something like Pandas. They've got the Association of Postnatal Illness. They've all got support lines there. You can access help in all different ways, but it's about making that first step and not being afraid to. Because you can get better, and I see women get better all of the time, and they're so glad they just opened up to somebody to say, I don't feel very well.
Now, you are a lactation consultant as well, and breastfeeding can be one of the things that sends people down that slippery slope to PND. Where do you start when someone comes to you and says, I can't feed my baby?
Oh gosh, that's difficult, because there's so many different reasons why a woman can't feed the baby, but it generally all stems down to the latch of the baby onto the breast and the support network around that mother. Because if that mother's got everyone behind her at home saying, give a bottle, you'll be okay, it's such a pressure for that mum, and then you've got another group of friends saying breastfeed. Thankfully the NHS,
and the media,
and people feel terrible if they can't breastfeed, but there are women out there who find it incredibly hard, and they need a lot of support. But you've just got to know where your local breastfeeding groups are in the area. In the early days, talk to your midwife, talk to your health visitor. You can seek the advice of a lactation consultant, and generally it's confidence. it's a very small amount of women that physically can't breastfeed.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of reasons women can't breastfeed, but they don't realise this.
Yeah.
For instance, a woman might say, my milk didn't come in, so I couldn't breastfeed. But that's usually because the baby wasn't latched correctly on the breast, so hasn't stimulated the milk supply. Or my baby wasn't putting weight on, so I had to change to bottle feeding. Again, that's down to the baby mustn't have been latched correctly, therefore not getting the milk, therefore not putting weight on. So it's about giving that woman support. Let me check your latch. Let's see what's not working out right here. The answer isn't go off and give a top up. The answer is, let's find out what the problem is here. You know, and some women choose not to breastfeed because they're having difficulties, and that's all right as well. It's all down to the woman and her choice, but she needs to be aware of all the options of each different breastfeeding scenario.
Well, it's really nice to know that if breastfeeding is something that you do really want to do, there is usually a solution. If you're having a problem, you've just got to ask for help.
And if it doesn't work out and you've tried everything, at least you've tried. And don't beat yourself up, don't be guilty, because women feeding all sorts of different ways, and I certainly don't want any mum out there, because I know a lot of women who've tried breastfeeding and it hasn't worked out and feel really bad about it, and they shouldn't, because that, again, like you say, the link with depression, low mood, anxiety, attachment, it's about being happy as a mother.
And the bottom line is that your baby's being fed. However you do it.
You need a happy mum. You've got to have a happy mum. I don't want to see a mum crying and hating every single feed. That's not a good attachment for her and her baby. You need a happy mummy, makes a happy mummy and baby, makes a happy little family.
Now, if anyone wants to find out more about what you do, where can they go to?
Well, my website's probably easiest, youandyourbaby.co.uk.